This is Leon, and I want to talk about my experience with breathing from the perspective of what I realized within breathing and how to breathe. Now, I realized that breath or breathing is a stability point. Just a point of grounding myself here in this physical existence. Because when I breathe, it is a movement. And then so I move with my breathing, basically. It's like a rhythm, a physical rhythm, moving with my breath. Meaning that when I'm breathing, I move with that breath, and breathe out, I move with it like a rhythm. Either that, or I will in fact move with the mind as imagination, and the imagination will in fact seem more than the breath, based on the imagination, one being able to generate energy experiences. Energy, basically, have a look at the energy from this perspective. Energy, basically, is energy. One understands energy as a movement or a force. So basically, if we have a look at energy from that perspective, it takes energy from oneself to kind of move oneself into an experience or a feeling or an emotion. Basically, a feeling about something or someone. And so one starts to position oneself, which takes energy. Basically, it takes an intention to move oneself into an as that position or that platform of a particular specific thought or an imagination. So basically, one is moving oneself into the imagination. What is imagination? It is an unseen force, basically, where one generates one's own one's own representation about a physical point, basically. So imagination or energy experience is like a representation of something that is physical, but the representation is manipulated in such a way that one sees that representation as something that is more superior than the physical, because the representation it comes with feelings and emotions. It comes with experiences, basically. So, for instance, a person within this world and reality, one channels that person or that something within one's own mind, and so within that, one thus changes that physical representation into an imagination, and the imagination basically is an experience of that individual. And so with that experience comes reactions of emotions and feelings. And those reactions, because of the weight of it, it is seen as more than the physical. And so one begins to create relationships to the imagination, create a bond to the imagination, and thus the physical, that which is real, becomes abdicated. So basically with breath, one is able to move oneself out of the imaginations of the mind and stabilize oneself here within and as this physical existence. With breath, basically that's it. Yes, that is it. One is able to stabilize oneself within this physical existence within breath, because it is a point where one is establishing one's own self-trust within and as reality, within and as this physical existence. Self-trust cannot be based on a reaction of an emotion or a feeling, because reactions of emotions and feelings are not stable, are in fact volatile. So therefore one is able to stabilize oneself as within and as the physical, through and within breath, as a point of establishing self-trust as self here. Thank you. Oh, one more point I would like to mention is how I establish my breathing. Basically, what I do is really, when I'm breathing, I really move with my breath. It's not just a quick breathe in, breathe out routine. It is actually being aware of how I breathe, and really move with that breathing, and how I inhale and how I exhale, and how my physical body, how it moves with my breath. It's actually really being intimate with the way that I breathe, and so, because with that, it really, from my experience, it is really a point of stability, because it is actually moving myself from the imaginations of the mind, which is wishful thinking, basically, and actually moving myself into a stability point in the physical, because I am physical, and so why am I constantly moving into the dimensions of my mind, which is within a realm of wishful thinking, basically, and so yeah, that's all that I have there, and thank you.